Alright, Happy New Year, guys. It's January 1st, the first day of 2019 as of me recording this. So yeah, if you hear any fireworks, it's because there's probably people out there with extra fireworks, just they don't want them to go to waste. So forgive me for that, I can't edit that out if you do hear anything. Anyway, you guys know I love to talk about some dumbass articles. People with just flaws in thoughts. Usually I don't care whenever people are kind of dumb, but whenever they get paid to be kind of dumb, it kind of pisses me off. I love this shit, man. I live for it, alright? Today's article is written by Lawrence Ware. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. A father confronts his Spider-Verse problem. Written on the last day of 2018, December 31st. Now, I've never seen this movie. I'm not much of a movie goer myself, but I don't have to watch the movie to, know what this writer's all about. In this article, he's gonna go on about how he doesn't like the movie or whatever. It's problematic to him, you see. But he doesn't explain why. Or whatever he tries to is so arbitrary, it's so vague that you don't even know what the hell he's talking about. So you know what, let's just get into the article. Let's just jump into it. He goes, I liked Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's quite good, but I didn't love it, and I feel bad about that. Growing up, I did not see myself in popular culture. Cyclops, Wolverine, Captain America, Luke Skywalker, Spider-Man. These were my cultural heroes, the characters I wanted desperately to be. Truth is, I could never inhabit their lives. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, you know what? These people, they got superpowers. They're pretty unrealistic, you gotta say. I mean, every kid wants to be a superhero, but they know they can't really inhabit their lives because, they got superpowers. What the hell? Like, if you think you can get superpowers, you got a crazy imagination. You see a lot of kids doing that. So yeah, you can kind of understand where he's coming from. Or so you think right now. He goes on and kind of destroys your stream of thought by saying, I knew it then, and as a scholar of race, I know it now. My heroes were in bodies that were different from mine. They were white, and I was black. And that ontological chasm was too much to cross. So for this dude, it's not that he can't relate to the superheroes because they have superpowers. He just can't relate to them because they don't have his skin color. So this dude, I don't know if he knows it or not, but he just admitted to being a fucking racist is what he did right there. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it. Dude, I hate to be the one to break it to you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're a goddamn racist, my guy. Right here, you say with your own words, the words you typed, you say that you cannot relate to somebody on the basis of their fucking skin color. I don't know how else I'm supposed to interpret that sentence other than that's pretty racist, dude. Like, I'm not even trying to play the race card, alright? I'm just saying, there's no other way to interpret that other than you projecting some sort of racism onto this here article. I mean, it is a New York Times article, so you can't really color me surprised. In fact, I kind of expected this. I mostly expect this with every New York Times article. But here, you know what? Let me just use your own logic and ask you a question. Whenever you hear about those, Chinese children working for almost nothing in those sweatshops, by your own logic, you can't relate to those people. You can't empathize with those Chinese children because they got yellow skin. What the hell, dude? They got yellow skin. I have no idea their struggles. The fuck's going on here? Why do I gotta care about these poor children working for nothing in these Chinese sweatshops? They got a different skin color than me. By this logic, that is what you're saying, dude. I mean, I know you could definitely put yourself in the shoes of people of a different skin color, and you're just grasping at straws in this article. Like, I know you're not that dumb. At least I hope you're not that dumb. If you are, then goddamn, clearly the world of academia has failed you, and either way, I honestly think it has. I mean, you're immersed enough in the world of race to claim that you are a scholar of race, and the only thing you took from that education is people are so different from you that you have to treat them differently. So that's pretty much the antithesis of what you should have learned, I'd assume, from a course like that. And here you are showing everybody that you're just racist towards white people. And let me just be perfectly clear, despite the words you typed into this article here, saying that you can't relate to people because they have a different color of skin than you, I know you're just being dumb, alright? I don't actually believe that you can't relate to people of a different skin color than you, because honestly, if I genuinely believed that you couldn't put yourself in the shoes of another person just because of the color of their skin, if I honestly believed your words here, which maybe I do, now the more I think about it, then yeah, I'd pretty much just consider you a pretty big racist, really. I don't know whether I should think of you as a confused individual, a dumb one, or a racist, or all of those things. So I don't know, man. You gotta be careful with your words is what I'm saying, because that's pretty damn racist. He goes on, though. Maybe I could be their friend, or maybe I could support them in their adventures. I could be the sidekick, the comic relief, the beta character, but I would never be the hero. That's why I was excited for this film. What? I'm sorry, what? Dude, it doesn't even matter your skin color, not whatsoever. I mean, whenever anybody watches this movie, I would assume the last thing they think is, oh, the main character's black. This is the biggest deal ever, because I'm black. Like, what? Whenever I see Spider-Man 2, and I'm like, whoa, Peter Parker is white. Man, I just love white people. I love this movie so much more, because the main protagonist is a white person. Damn, I love white skin. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, what kind of stream of thought is that? Whenever I see a good protagonist, the last thing I'm thinking about is the color of their skin, alright? In fact, that's not even the last thing I would think, but that's literally not part of the equation in my thought process, is their skin color. But anyway, everybody who's watching the movie, they already know they can't be the hero because heroes have superpowers. Maybe they can relate to their emotions or feelings, and that's where the empathy part comes into play with these, superheroes' backstories. Nobody is saying, like, oh, I can get these superpowers. In fact, I would imagine that a lot of people already do kind of envision themselves as, the sidekick, the comic relief, because that's a pretty bare bones role to play. In fact, most comic relief characters are meant for that very reason, so you can put yourself in their shoes. Like here, I'm going to bring up Sergeant Johnson from the Halo games. He was perfect comic relief. Everything he did was so charming, and you could put yourself in his shoes. You can imagine yourself reacting in the ways he did, because that was his role. It didn't matter his skin color. I can tell you right now that there are plenty of white people who saw Sergeant Johnson and his role really resonated with them, because they were able, even if for just a moment, to put themselves in the shoes of Sergeant Johnson. Because Sergeant Johnson, no matter your skin color, is such a relatable comic relief character. I really don't have any idea what race has to do with this movie at all, dude. Like, where the fuck you at, bro? Come on. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a movie in love with comic books. It does not apologize for the source material, nor feel the need to try to ground the story in real life, as Marvel movies have often tried to do. Yeah, I don't care, okay? I thought you were supposed to be criticizing the movie. I mean, I didn't watch the movie, so I have no idea what you're talking about. Like comic books, it's full of colorful villains and brimming with one-liners. This film manages the delicate feat of embracing its source material while also satirizing it. So what's your Spider-Verse problem, buddy? Miles Morales, the first Afro-Latino Spider-Man, was the focus for the first half of the film, but thereafter he became a Spider-Man among Spider-Men. He was no longer the focus, and that puts me in a tough place as a father of young children. What? Why? That puts you in a tough place as a father of young children. Why the hell would that be morally problematic? I don't understand. Why would that conflict with your morals as a parent to the point to where it makes you question whether or not your children should watch it? That doesn't make any sense, dude. That legit makes no sense. There must be some sort of stream of thought you're following that you just haven't put onto this article, because that doesn't make any sense, okay? I know I've said that like 3 times now, but it doesn't, dude. It just doesn't add up. The only reason I would imagine that this could make any sense in your mind is that, well, you said in this paragraph that he is the first minority as a Spider-Man, but he doesn't get enough screen time because there are more Spider-Men? I don't understand. I really have no clue. All I can really take from this paragraph is that you're disgruntled that the Black Spider-Man didn't get more screen time. What the fuck? And in fact, it bothers you so much that you thought about not even letting your kids watch the movie. What more do I have to say about that? It's just, I don't know. I can't relate to that stream of thought at all. You need to get your head out of the clouds and stop thinking about race, because race does not matter as much as you think it does. I can't think of a single other reason why you would be disgruntled that much about a character not receiving as much screen time, other than the fact that you like his skin color. I can't think of anything else other than that. I mean, you've already expressed racism, so you know what? I'm just gonna go with that. He goes on to talk about Transformers Revenge of the Fallen and saying that it's racist or whatever. Then he talks about Pocahontas and then says he didn't let his kids watch it because of its whitewashing. I don't even know what whitewashing means, but it sounds pretty racially charged. He says he talked to his kids about this. He says, "We've discussed why films like Revenge of the Fallen and Pocahontas are a problem. And when we talk about the kind of racial stereotypes those films present, the ghettoized machines of the former and the noble Indians versus the violent savage dichotomy of the latter. They usually shrug their shoulders and move on to the next toy. Well, goddamn, how do you expect them to react? You want them to go, hey, Black Lives Matter, I'm being systematically oppressed by the fucking country, and I don't like the capos. White people suck, I hate their guts. The white pigs, oh no. Like, dude, what are you... What are you trying to teach your kids? Do you think your kids care about that? Do you think your kids are caring about racial stereotypes? You should be teaching your kids not to care about race at all. You should be teaching your kids to treat everybody like they're equal, man. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Like, of course they're gonna move on to the next toy. They don't give a fuck, okay, man? I sure as fuck wouldn't care if I were a kid. Let them play with their toys, you know? And let me just say, whenever you tell your kids not to do something, especially if it's something as petty as watching a movie, you know what that's going to make them want to do whenever they're like 12 or something? In that range of age where they just want to rebel. You know what they're going to do? They're going to watch that movie. They're going to be like, yeah, man, my old man's a stick in the mud. He gets triggered about all these dumb things, bro. That's what they're going to be saying whenever they're like in their teens or whatever. Like, hey, my old man wouldn't let me watch Dumbo because those crows, they represent black people too badly. So he wouldn't let me watch that movie. My old man's a real bore fest, you know? That's what they're gonna be saying, dude. That's what I said, alright? Whenever my parents wouldn't let me do shit, you know, I'd look back, I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna start doing all these things they wouldn't let me do because, I mean, I gotta live a little, man. Maybe I would conjure up those thoughts in different words, but you get the gist. But I could not imagine having a similar conversation with them about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. They loved it too much. Well, what kind of conversation would you be having anyway? Like, oh, while your favorite Spider-Man character may be black, he's not in the movie for long enough, so you can't watch this movie. The fuck, dude? What are you thinking? Where are you at? I don't understand where you're coming from. I'll say it again, the academic system has failed you terribly. Spider-Verse, more than any other movie we've seen together, puts me in a precarious position. Why? Okay, you've said that multiple times. That is your thesis, but you've yet to explain why. I mean, that's a pretty crucial element whenever you're trying to portray your discomfort with the movie. That's like one of the core things you should be doing whenever you're writing an article like this, is to explain why you don't like something. Like, imagine just going, I don't like this. And whenever somebody asks why, you go, I don't like it, dude. Just quit asking me. I don't know. I don't like it, bro. Something about it. I just don't like it. In fact, no, this is actually even worse because you're going, I don't like it, but you're giving little vague hints as of why you don't like it, which is pretty racially charged. Then you just keep going, I don't like it, bro. I don't like it. Ooh. My sons loved this movie. They have taken to listening to the music from it. They told all their friends to watch it. They deem it the best Marvel movie to date, and it is. They have not stopped talking about the film, and this is all because they saw themselves in the characters that looked like them on the screen. Dude, the fuck? Did you ask your kids, hey, why do you like this movie so much? And did they go, hey, this is because the character's black? I don't know about you, but I highly doubt any kid would like this movie because of the color of the main character's skin, dude. What the hell? There's gotta be, maybe I gotta watch the movie to really give a detailed response to this, but I doubt that people are just gonna like the movie because the main character's black. If that's the reason, then that's very disappointing, to be honest. And it goes both ways. It goes anyway, really, anywhere on the spectrum. If somebody likes a movie because their skin color is in that movie, that's just weird, dude. You gotta question that. You gotta put a spotlight on it and really start wondering why they're thinking that way. And another thing is, you say it is the best Marvel movie to date. I mean, you say that right here, but what's your problem? What's the Spider-Verse problem? What are you confronting? What? What are you talking about, dude? Okay, so we might be getting into it. Let's just keep reading, alright? Miles spoke to them in a unique way, and while I want them to see the world clearly and learn to critique the pop culture they consume, I'm going to let them enjoy this imperfect superhero movie. Oh my god, you still haven't said why it's imperfect. You haven't said a single thing about why it's imperfect other than the main character doesn't get more screen time because he's black. Yeah, you haven't expressed any more than that. Is that the only reason, the only part of the film you didn't like is because the black character that you liked wasn't in there long enough? I'm like, dude, SMH, bro, SMH, the fuck? I'm shaking my head right now. I know you can't really hear it. I don't have a face cam either, so you just gotta imagine. I am shaking my head at you, bro. This ain't cool. This ain't right. This ain't good. This is not a good thought process to be having. For LJ and Quinn to identify so deeply with black characters on screen is important. I have decided to lay aside analysis and allow them to love this movie in spite of its flaws. You still haven't explained its flaws. You still haven't. And if you have, then it's racist. And I'm trying to assume you're not a racist, okay? I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, even though, I mean, you've clearly said you were a racist. I'm just trying to pretend you're not, okay? Because I don't like calling people racist, but it is what you said. It is what you said twice, actually. Multiple times, really. And I don't get it. I don't get what your thing is, why they gotta identify with black characters. I mean, look, the color of your skin shouldn't matter. It should not be part of the equation. I don't know how many times I should be saying this, but that is not a good thought process. That is part of the problem. I bet it's just the atmosphere over at the New York Times, is everybody's just a racist prick with a stick up their ass. So that's why you're writing this shit down. And at this point, I'm not even saying it as an insult. It's just, like, all the negative connotations, I don't even intend for that to be a thing. It's just, that's what you've written down. There's no other way of interpreting it other than you're a racist. So I don't know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. So really what I've gathered from this article is the movie's not black enough for you. Have you ever thought that maybe the skin color doesn't matter? Nope. Anyway, let's continue. We cannot expect kids to be as woke as we are. What the hell, dude? You really just said woke? Dude, I thought that was just a meme, bro. I didn't think that these progressives actually said that. The fuck? I guess I was wrong, dude. I guess you really do live up to the progressive stereotype saying woke.
Yeah, we can't expect them to be as woke as we are, bro. I'm so woke. I know everything there is to know about the world.
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. When I was younger, my mother let me love imperfect things. I loved the second Indiana Jones film despite the racism. I loved the Bad News Bears despite the racism and sexism of the character Tanner Boyle, a player on the team. And I loved Dumbo despite the jive-talking cows. Crows. Goddamn, I'm dyslexic. With that in mind, my kids can love the Spider-Man film. Okay, so, well, first of all, the reason you loved all those movies is because they weren't racist movies. Maybe, I mean, they're as racist as you want them to be, alright? So whatever. I mean, none of the jokes were in bad taste, I would argue. If anything, they're pretty funny, I gotta say. Really, it comes down to if you're just a fun-loving person or a stick in the mud. But still, even if you think all those movies are racist, how is this one racist? Like, you're putting this one in the same group as all those, but the only thing is this one isn't racist at all. The main character is a goddamn African American, alright? But he doesn't get enough screen time, so that's offensive to you? And so you group this up with a bunch of movies you deem racist? I don't get it, dude. There's not a lot of consistency going on, which is to be expected from these kind of thought processes whenever they're coming from intersectionality. But you know what? That's pretty much all I gotta say about this article. I'm not gonna rate this article. It's all over the place. I can't put a number to it. It's pretty fucking ridiculous. But hey, thank you for watching the video. It's much appreciated. Go ahead and drop a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm trying to get back into it, trying to get back in the flow of making content like this. But yeah, thank you again for watching. My name is Psychic Sploob, and peace out.